Hello there gamers! Welcome back to the channel, where today we are once again celebrating the golden era of video games. If you're like me, you spent a good chunk of your childhood in front of a flickering CRT, gripping a rectangular controller, and trying again and again to beat a challenging stage or boss in your favorite games. Today, we're going beyond the Marios and the Zeldas, and diving deep into the NES library to spotlight 10 amazing games that flew under the radar. Whether they were released too late, overshadowed by bigger titles, or just didn't get the attention they deserved, these are some of the best hidden gems the NES had to offer. So blow the dust out of your cartridges, hit that subscribe button, and let's count down the top 10 NES games that flew under the radar. Don't let the goofy surfer slang fool you. Totally Rad is actually a competent and creative side-scrolling action platformer. Published by Jaleco in 1991, this one came out late in the NES lifecycle, which meant a lot of players missed it. You play as Jake, a magician in training, battling mutants and monsters across vibrant, colorful stages. The real charm here is the spell system. Jake can transform into different creatures or unleash elemental attacks, giving the gameplay some unexpected depth. The between-level cutscenes are, well, totally weird, but in that what were they thinking way that makes it all the more memorable. This game has cool rental find written all over it. Kickmaster, from Kid and Tato in 1992, is a side-scrolling action game that blends beat-em-up mechanics with RPG elements and even magic spells. You are Thonolin, a warrior on a mission to avenge your brother and stop an evil sorceress. But here's the twist. You use your feet for everything. Kicks, aerial kicks, spinning kicks, ground kicks. If there's a kick, this game has it. The enemy designs are great. The difficulty ramps up nicely, and there's a surprising amount of depth. Not bad for a game that barely got any attention back in the day. Mixing action RPG elements with platforming, Faxanadu, released in 1989 by Hudson Soft, might look like a Zelda 2 or Castlevania clone at first glance, but it carves its own path. You play a nameless hero returning to your hometown, only to find it crumbling and cursed. From there, it's a trek through twisted trees, decaying towns, and bizarre temples, with a surprisingly somber tone and haunting soundtrack. The gameplay can be a little clunky, but it makes up for it with atmosphere and a sense of progression that really hooked you. It also featured a password system that actually worked most of the time. If you like Ninja Gaiden but wish it had more driving sequences and top-down shooting, then Vice, Project Doom, is your jam. Released by American Sammy in 1991, this game was genre-bending in all the best ways. One minute, you're in a side-scrolling action stage with tight swordplay. The next, you're in a high-speed car chase, blasting enemies on the highway. It was sort of like a souped-up spy hunter. It's cinematic, fast-paced, and stylish. Unfortunately, because of limited distribution and late release timing, it didn't get the love it clearly deserved. SNK brought us something special with Crystalis in 1990. It's an action RPG that many players would argue was ahead of its time, and in some ways even rivaled Zelda. Set in a post-apocalyptic world, Crystalis has you wielding elemental swords to vanquish mutant creatures and an evil empire. The gameplay is smooth, the music is fantastic, and there's a great sense of exploration. What held it back? Probably its timing. It was released as Nintendo was already preparing the SNES, and by a company better known for arcade brawlers than adventure epics. Capcom hit it out of the park with this 1992 gem. A prequel to the Game Boy original, Gargoyle's Quest II stars Firebrand, the red demon from Ghosts and Goblins that haunted gamers for years before this game's release. But instead of playing the character as a villain, you're the hero this time. What sets this game apart is its blend of overhead RPG-style town exploration with side-scrolling platforming and combat. It's one of those rare NES games that mixes genres smoothly and pulls off great world-building too. Tough, atmospheric, and totally unique, this one just didn't get the exposure it needed to be remembered alongside Capcom's giants. Although there was a third game in the series that came out for the SNES. This one has Terminator DNA all over it. Originally supposed to be a licensed Terminator game, Journey to Silius, released by Sunsoft in 1990, lost the license late in development, but the final product still feels like a cyberpunk action movie. With tight shooting mechanics, detailed graphics, and an absolutely killer soundtrack, this side-scroller is short but satisfying, when you weren't getting knocked around by baddies. Sunsoft was doing some incredible work with the NES sound chip, and this game is a prime example. It never got much marketing, but it earned a cult following for a good reason. If you like gravity-defying platforming, Metal Storm, released by Irem in 1991, will blow your mind. You pilot a mech suit that can flip gravity at will, letting you walk on ceilings, dodge obstacles, and tackle enemies from above and below. This mechanic made for some seriously clever level design, and the visuals were cutting edge for the time, pushing the NES to its limits. Unfortunately, it didn't make much of a splash commercially, but in the retro community, it's now widely considered one of the most innovative NES titles ever made. One of the most infamous hidden gems on the NES, Little Samson, released by Taito in 1992, has it all. Tight controls, varied characters, colorful graphics, and great level design. You control 4 different heroes, each with unique abilities, a mechanic that would become common in later generations. Want to climb walls? The dragon can do that. Want to fit into tight spaces? The mouse is your guy. It adds a level of strategy and fun variety that most NES games never even attempted, and it feels like a precursor to the Wonder Boy games. The catch? It released extremely late in the NES lifecycle, making it rare and expensive. But if you ever get the chance to play it, you'll see why collectors go nuts over it. At the top of our list is the Guardian Legend, developed by Compile and published by Broderbund in 1989. And let me tell you, this game is wild. You play as a transforming robot-woman hybrid sent to a space station hurtling toward Earth. The gameplay alternates between Blaster Master-style exploration and vertical shoot-'em-up stages, with tons of weapons, keys, upgrades, and secrets to discover. It's ambitious, creative, and packed with content. It was also incredibly ahead of its time. The fact that it didn't get more recognition is a tragedy, but now's your chance to right that wrong. And there you have it. 10 NES games that didn't get the spotlight back in the day, but absolutely deserve a second look. Did we include one of your personal favorites, or did we miss a hidden gem you think should have made the list? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss our next retro countdown. Until then, keep your pixels sharp and your nostalgia strong. Check out our review for Arcade Paradise. It's a very fun, retro-heavy game. If you're into D&D, you can also check out our sister channel, Tellist, where we have plenty of maps on display. And we'll also be refreshing this channel with new retro reviews, so keep an eye out.